Fresca, we need a sponsorship. Contact me immediately. And if you're lucky, my OnlyFans is there. I'm kidding, I don't have OnlyFans. Design Daddy does OnlyFans? God, I better get in shape. I wonder what I would be worth on OnlyFans.
To bake all butter croissants. Shop now.
I brought it with the intention. We've seen a lot of great trends and design styles that have come out of this past year, but we've also seen some really questionable ones. And when I say questionable ones, I want to shake some people and be like, what were you thinking and why? Like, it just blows my mind to see some of these things. I some days wish we could go back before the internet where we made mistakes on our own and we didn't share them, because there's some DIYs that, let me just say, should have been left in the shadows and not reach the public eye of the internet. They have been under fire, under scrutiny, and they are terrible. That's just how it is. I don't make the rules. Actually, yes, I do. I make design rules because you have come to my channel. Welcome. If you have not met me before, my name is Phoenix Gray, aka Design Daddy, and this channel is all about interior design. Regardless if you're renting or renovating, I'm here to help. You can also join my free design newsletter in the description box below, where I answer all of the most commonly asked interior design questions. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Mr. Phoenix Gray, where you can see all my daily tips and tricks. This is also a gentle reminder that this is just my professional opinion on the matter. If you truly love any of these items or have them in your home, by all means, use them. But as I mentioned before, we are here to listen to your design daddy, and maybe don't share some things with the internet because you're gonna get scrutinized by me. Do y'all know what a digital footprint is? Like, honestly, you can search back years and see exactly what you said, what you did, what you posted. There are some videos that should not see the light of day. And honestly, we need to go back to that because I've seen some stuff. Like, are you not all embarrassed? Because I'm embarrassed for you. And on that note, we're going into people's terrible choices because these design trends of this past year are terrible, and we're not gonna bring these into next year. We're gonna start things off strong here, and we are going with the all beige look. There is a very specific reason as to why it has been coined the sad beige child. I feel like you're an almond mom, and that's your color. That's like, you're just going for that almond look. Everything is beige, everything is neutral, everything is bland and lackluster. Like, it's giving Kim Kardashian's home. It's a mausoleum. It's not an actual home, I'm sorry. I feel like this entire beige monochromatic look came from this inspiration of the word aesthetic. Everyone was like, it needs to be aesthetic. I want it to be aesthetic. This is aesthetic. It has literally been used as a term that has been so overboard. I even use it myself way too many times, but it is the perfect description of that sad beige home. These images perfectly articulate how bland it looks, and we're not bringing this into next year. Boucle fabric came in this year like a motherfucking storm. Every single retailer imaginable was like, we are jumping on this. We need to make everything in boucle. It needs to be chairs, it needs to be ottomans, it needs to be couches, it needs to be rugs, it needs to be curtains. It needs to stop, is what it needs to do. Boucle is a loose weave fabric, and I've talked about this before. It will snag, it will catch. Yes, it looks beautiful in these perfectly styled Pinterest images. The major issue with boucle is that it adds a beautiful formulation of texture and dimension with how it looks. As you're sitting on it, those piles flatten. So whenever you're sitting on it, you're gonna know exactly who was sitting on it, their weight, their age, everything about them, because it holds on to it, and it is not great. Boucle is like the Zara of fabric. It jumped on it so heavy, and it's so overused, and it's fast fashion. It's fast fashion for furniture, and it's crap. It should have been avoided, and honestly, it should still stay away. I know a lot of people are using it, and a lot of people love it, but keep that in mind. If you have a busy household, this is not the fabric for you. Lime wash walls have been around for quite some time, but they made a huge impact in this last year, and they've become super trendy. As I always say, there are very specific design styles and aesthetics that work for your home, and some do not. Lime wash is one of those styles that you need to embody into your entire home. You cannot just do an accent wall of it. You cannot just do one room in it, and you cannot just incorporate it on one wall because it looks so out of place. The only time that I would be allowing this is in a powder room, but this powder room style has to match the rest of your house. I will give it the credit though, it is beautiful. It looks so good. It adds so much texture and dimension on blank walls, especially in small spaces. But because it is so trendy and most people are using it out of contact, for that reason, it is on this list of not to continue. Open shelving is another really big style that made waves in kitchens this past year, and it is beautiful. You see every single beautifully styled Pinterest photos of these kitchens, and they look fantastic. The issue is they're styled. Are you styling those shelves? Are you accessing those shelves? And also, who has space in a kitchen that even though no matter how big it is, there's never actually enough room for storage? So if you have these open shelves, it's usually like a coffee table book or a cooking book and a few mugs. No one actually operates that way, and you are lying to yourself if you are. If you have these open shelves anywhere near your cooking stove or an induction or your hood fan, they accumulate so much dust, so much grime, and you are cleaning them just as much as you are the rest of the surfaces in your kitchen. And if you're not, go check those open shelves because there is so much dust on them, I guarantee you. Sputnik light fixtures. These have been around for a very long time, but they've gained a lot of popularity in this past year. They can be beautiful when designed and styled properly in a home, but at the same time, these exposed light bulbs are so jarring. They are so off-putting in your space, and they give off such unequal light when you're looking at them, and they add so much visual glare no matter where you're sitting as those ceiling lights. And God forbid you have one of those table lights with an exposed light bulb, I'm going to leave your home. Because I was at a house party once, we were all sitting, chilling on the sofa, the floor, like we're all just hanging out, and they had an Edison bulb off to the side. I literally was like this the whole night talking to people because it is the worst. And if you have not sat in the dark with an Edison bulb, do it. You will understand why that we are not continuing this into next year. I feel like every single year, Maximalist comes in and they try and rebrand themselves because this year they called it Clutter Core. It's exactly that, Clutter Core, clutter, get rid of clutter. We are all about organizing, like we need to get Maria Kondo up in this bitch because we're talking about everything is hidden and put away. This idea of Clutter Core and more is more does not work with everyone's space. It literally is just being a hoarder rebranded. We've also seen this big introduction to very playful flatware and bubbles specifically. It is super cute, it is fun, it is playful, it is kitschy, it is quirky, but what it is not fitting in your dishwasher, it is not fitting in those drying racks. Yes, they are super cute, but if you're anything like me and like to clean and like to organize, these are not going to fit anywhere in your home. They are purely just for display, and they take up twice the amount of space in your storage areas in your cabinets. Mushroom decor is another cute pop-up that came in these designs, but honestly, they're not for me. They came in super, super hot, super cute, and people were like, oh my God, these mushrooms, they were literally like, I'm obsessed. I need everything in a mushroom shape. They were getting vases, they were getting lights, they were getting ottomans, they were getting wall sconces and wall hooks. Like these images, I saw so many people bringing these like little mushroom core decor pieces into their space, and it's so kitschy. I hate to say it, but people were bringing these in and they really don't work with the rest of your space and your existing design items. If you wanted to bring that mushroom shape, bring in that motif, the idea of it in lights, but anywhere else, I'm sorry, this isn't Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs home that you're decorating. It's not gonna work. You must be tripping on shrooms if you're obsessed with these. This is the kind of decor that I envision in a mushroom store. Like they literally have mushroom stores in Toronto called Shroomies. This is what I'm imagining the decor that they would have in there. No, that was not sponsored. We also saw Minimalism trying to make a comeback this year. It tries every single year. And every single year, like Maximalism, it fails because it is not practical. People are having this idea of being super minimalistic and having like 2 things here and 1 thing over there and a shelf that is so perfectly styled for Pinterest. And then when they actually live in the space, 1, they can't find anything because they don't know where they put it. And 2, it looks dead. It looks like no one lives there. There is no warmth. I want you to keep that in mind, that you can bring in this idea of minimalism, but do not commit to this like extreme level of it where everything is hidden. I'm all about hiding things out of sight, out of mind, and at the same time, that's what you get. You're gonna lose things in your own home. Sorry, Kim Kardashian. I know I dragged you in my video before, but you're not gonna make minimalism happen. This is one of the ones that I personally dislike the most. It was the squiggly everything, and I'm talking about your furniture, your mirrors, decor. It was another one of those things like the mushrooms that everyone's like, we need to commit to literally everything in our home to have squiggles. It looks so elementary. It literally looks like a child in grade school drew out that coffee table or that end table, and then you just cut it out with a hacksaw. It's not doing anything for your space. If you did like this trend, I can get it. You can have a few of those little decor items. You can have a squiggly vase, but once again, it doesn't fit with so many interior design styles that it just feels so out of place. Paper lighting also isn't anything new, but it also tried to make a comeback this year. I know a lot of people have been trying to bring back this revival of vintage and antique furniture, but paper lighting is paper lighting, people. Paper is delicate, it is light. You can't even clean it. If you get it wet, it's going to dissolve. If you have a cat, they are gonna puncture holes with it. If you have a dog, they're gonna knock it over and it's gonna rip. If you try and Swiffer it, it's going to rip. Keep that in mind when you're using these kind of styles in your home. Paper is so delicate and lights attract a lot of dust. So keep that in mind when you're looking at it from a practical standpoint and when cleaning is involved. Zela Tiles were huge this year. Everyone brought them into their space. These are incredibly beautiful handcrafted tiles, and they are just that. They are handcrafted, which means they are extremely imperfect, and sometimes they really don't work with your space. The amount of people that I've seen incorporating them into bathrooms, specifically in the showers, drives me crazy. Because if you're putting these in your shower, I know you are rich enough not to clean them, because these are going to harbor mold, they're gonna harbor bacteria, because there are so many little ledges all the way around that are not going to dry, and they are going to make your space look so busy. And once again, they really don't add to that contemporary look. They pigeonhole you to a very specific interior design style. These tiles also come at a premium price tag because they are handmade. You are paying premium prices for a not so premium looking product. Once again, these can be incorporated so beautifully into a space, but if they do not match your interior design style, they look so off-putting. And I don't see these being as big in 2024 because there are so many people putting them in their bathrooms and they're realizing this is a huge mistake. I am not a huge fan of this one because I do not agree with it personally, but this idea of quiet luxury and having this quiet luxury look in your space. Because if we're being honest, quiet luxury in your home compared to fashion is so different. Quiet luxury is all about style, aesthetic, craftsmanship. And you know what comes with those three? A very heavy price tag. You cannot call an IKEA item in your home, even if you DIY it and change it up, it cannot be a quiet luxury. I am sorry. Quiet luxury is bespoke. They are built in. It is expensive millwork. It is high quality fabrics. So it is really difficult, and in my opinion, does not work within the interior design trend of trying to bring this quiet luxury in, because it is luxury. It is pricey. You cannot have that quiet luxury look at an affordable price tag in your home. Checkerboard is the Gen Z version of the chevron because it's just not working. Like this is another one of these trends, like these other ones, that they were like, we need to bring this in everything. We need it in our bed sheets. We need it in our carpet. We need it in our throw pillows. We need it everywhere. And it is very overwhelming. This checkerboard look gives off a very plaid-like feeling, which is very traditional. It is very stale. And depending on the scale of these checkerboards, I find that they usually don't work with your space. Another big trend that I saw a lot of people trying to do is mix and match patterns. If you are not a professional and if you do not have a good eye for design and color and how things work together, mixing patterns is an absolute disaster. One of the only few people that I have personally seen do it well is the queen of interior design herself, Kelly Wearstler. We're waiting for her to contact me because I would love to work with her. But at the same time, she knows exactly what she is doing when it comes to mixing styles and patterns. She has been doing it effortlessly for years. And people that are trying to introduce it now, people are like, yeah, let's put a checkerboard pattern with a chevron and a squiggly line and this chair. And then we're going to put like, there's too much incorporation of too many styles and trends that are so overboard. If you want to incorporate patterns into your space, just start with one. Don't go mix and match them because they really don't work in your space unless you know exactly what you're doing and how they actually complement each other instead of juxtapose each other. I know a lot of you think you know what you're doing, but trust me, these mix-match patterns are making your space look way busier and way more intrusive than they are being cozy. Backlit onyx is beautiful. And honestly, for me, I only see it in a commercial or a hotel bar setting because that's the only time I've ever seen it done tastefully. So many people have been using it in their kitchens and it gives me hotel bar vibes. This idea of having this backlit look is so like overpowering, and it's bringing like a level of glam that this stone is meant to be subtle to. Onyx is an incredibly beautiful natural stone, but it is so delicate. It scratches, etches, and stains even worse than a marble does if it's not protected properly. Your kitchen is one of the areas that should feel the most timeless in any part of your home, and bringing in this backlit onyx really does the complete opposite. It feels and looks super trendy. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having trendy elements in your home. But once again, like I said before, you want to bring them in sparingly. My job as an interior designer is to make your home feel timeless, or at least have timeless aspects into it, so you don't feel like you have to update it every year or every 2 years, depending on the styles for what's in and what's out. If you do partake in any of these trends, I always recommend at least bringing them in smaller scale items. That way that when they're out or when you're sick of it, you can actually swap them out for something else and bring them back in when you want to actually enjoy them again. That's all for today, and thank you so much for watching. I see all your comments. The fact that I can engage such a community from all around the world on my personal style, my education, it means a lot to me. Be sure to like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and OnlyFans at Mr. Phoenix Gray, where you can see all my daily design advice and who knows what else, but we're not gonna go there. You'll have to click the link and find out. And no, I'm kidding, I don't actually have OnlyFans. And remember, if you're ever second guessing yourself, just ask, what would Design Daddy do? Boom.